Welcome to the fourth episode of the Gatekeepers. Today we were talking about failures and why you picked up the camera. So, all right, let's just jump right into it. Well, actually, before we do that, one, David and Knives, how are you guys doing?
I am constantly living in a state of emotional paralysis because we seem to be moving from one crisis to the next in this world, and I'm just a little tired of it. Just a little bit, not a lot. You know, I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired of it. So that's where I'm at. But hey, I got my tax return today, so that's good, I
What
guess.
the fuck? Everybody's getting their tax return, but me. I like,
Well, if you didn't do it on time, that's not my fault. That's your fault.
bro. I filed on the 9th of February.
Oh shit. How you doing,
Like,
Knives?
If, bad because
Oh,
I'm not getting a tax return because I owe
okay.
$6,500 in taxes this year. So I make too
What?
much money. I'm
You
too
make
fucking
too
rich.
much
My
money?
dick is too big. Is what
Yo,
the
dude,
government's
you gotta.
telling me, and they want a cut. They want a cut of it. So no, that's a true story. I owe 6,500. So I have two fat paychecks that are coming in both March and February, and March and April rather. And you can do the. I have an CPA, and he
Mhm.
recommended doing some installment plans so I can pay them off in like $3,500 chunks. It sucks. But
Yeah.
that's what you get for I'm making these dollars, baby. Just kidding. No, so no. Other than World War III and all this crazy stuff, I'm delighted to be in the presence of y'all, gentlemen. What about Cam? Cam, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm alive. Black and I'm proud and
There we go.
whatnot. So I'm chilling.
Wait, real quick.
Honestly,
Let's
I
back
am
up.
chilling.
Real quick. Let's back up. You said World War. If this is World War III, it is the lamest third World War I've ever seen. A superpower walked into a country and the country kicked its dick in. Yeah, like it's pretty lame if we're calling this World War III. This is like World War womp womp.
It'll
Okay,
be
but
way more
see, like,
entertaining in the future for you, I promise.
wait, hold
Okay,
on,
the
I
hold on.
hope
concentration
No,
not.
camps are
no, no.
coming, and then you'll be entertained.
No.
Yeah, I
No.
understand. Like, this is a possible world war with TikTok involved. It ain't even
Stop.
got
I'm
started.
sorry.
Did,
Did you guys
did you see the stitch that went around?
No, did you see the video of the guy holding the anti-tank mine like this as he was smoking a cigarette?
Nah, no,
He
no,
was
no.
just puffing it and just
So
lightly dropping it. It was great.
there's this other one where there's this guy. He's sitting on a tank. He's an American soldier, and he's sitting around a bunch of his buddies. They're all just getting hyped up and whatnot. And I think it was titled like, "Yeah, y'all don't want us to pull up and do anything." And then it flips to a guy in Russia with all his buddies and whatnot, and it was titled, "Y'all really just sitting in a Call of Duty lobby right now." I'm like,
Damn.
this
Damn.
is wrong, but
Damn.
funny. It's just this should not be that funny.
Bro, get some ice for that burn. All right, Cam, what's this topic again? What are we talking about? How are we
So
what are we feeling tonight?
So I think I've also brought this up to you guys before, where we love talking about our highs, our good times, our great times. The things that we succeed about. But how often
Chief
do
Keef
we
know how
actually
you do it.
talk
Yeah.
talk about the failures that actually got us to the highs?
Oh jeez. Oh man, I got some fucking lows, bro. I got some lows. Can I start and then you'll let you guys top that? How about that?
All
We're talking
right,
No,
about
because I'm
career
not going to be able to
lows.
top it.
We're talking about career
I
lows.
know
Is
I'm not
that
going
right,
to be able
Cam?
to.
career lows or like failures that got you to push yourself even further. You feel me?
All right. I got this. So 10 years ago, 2012, I direct my first feature film. I've never really put this in public, by the way.
Oh,
I direct my first feature film.
yeah.
I'm with some friends. I thought I was doing it with some friends. It was tremendous. We filmed this movie on a budget of hot dogs and handshakes, which is to say, it was super low budget, and it went great. We shot it in 19 days. We premiered it in August. We sold out a movie theater. We made all of our money back. We made a profit. It was awesome. It was excellent. That was 2012, and then I left my hometown really like at an all time high. and I felt great about it. It was it was a really really good high, and you don't have lows without really really good highs. So cut to 2 years later, it's 2014 now. My daughter's on the way. My wife is expecting. We're pregnant, and the same friends
Pregnant
that I
with an
made
idea.
the friends that I made my first feature with want to make a second feature. This time they invested what I presume was anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in filmmaking equipment. These are actors. Once again, never been public with this. They're the type of people, if they wanted to sue me, they would have sued me already. They did threaten legal action. They never did it. Never said this in public. It is what it is. But 2014, they want to make a movie. I say, you know what? I want to make a movie, sure, with you guys. Let's do it again because the first one went so great. Let's do it on a phone. I really want to make a movie on a phone. And they thought the phone was whack. They just purchased all this equipment in a Red. Let's do it on a Red. Now, who's going to say no to that? I was like, I'll make my second movie on a Red. That feels like it's a step up. I'm working at Burger King. I got a baby on the way. Working part-time at Burger King. To put things into perspective, I wrote this second feature film in January. We casted it in February. We shot it in March. We edited it in in April, and we screened it in May twice. Very fast. We shot half the movie in about a 50-hour sprint, just a 50-hour day. They asked me, hey, right before we started principal photography, they asked me, these actors / friends / here we are going to make a movie for the second time that I'm writing and directing. And they said, hey, to really pay for actors, because we're hiring people from New Orleans, Chicago, different places, flying them in, costs money. They said, hey, we need $7,000 for you to make this movie. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm working at Burger King. How am I going to get $7,000? I asked my aunt, and I said, hey, I've never asked her for a favor in my life. And I was like, hey, I want to make a movie. I need $7,000. She goes to a credit union, gives me $7,000 in cash. I paid her back. It took 2 years, but I paid her back. $7,000 may have well as been $20,000. I was like, this is a fucking fortune. I got a baby on the way. I'm working at Burger King. I have to end up quitting Burger King because one of the producers calls me and he's like, do you want to work at Burger King? Do you want to flip burgers or do you want to make a fucking movie? And I thought, well, shit, I want to make a movie, right? Long story short, we make this movie. It was a shit show. These producers / friends at the time that I was making a movie with stole my movie. I don't have access to it. I don't have a copy of it. I've only seen it the day it premiered, which was May 2014. I have not seen it since. They threatened to sue me after that, saying that, oh, I guess you owe us all this money. And it's like, that's not the way it works, right? Like, you don't go into a movie as a joint production looking to not make money, Needless to say, I don't talk to these people anymore. We've blocked each other. We'll never work with each other again. That really fucking hurt, that public failure of, here's this movie. By the way, it sucked. Here's the other thing. It fucking sucked. Here's the second movie. I came from like the highest high to this lowest low. And then the next month I had my daughter, and then I was like a dad, and I had like this postpartum thing as well. And I went through like this big, deep depression, and it was really, really dark times for them. I'm sure they have the reasons for not liking me. We're no longer friends now. I guess we never were. But it was really, really, if I could be selfish, it was really, really difficult for me, man. That was a big ass failure. And I will tell you, in this videography, filmmaking game, that's gatekept for a lot of people. In this game, for people to take an L like that, that would be it for them. They'd be done. They're going to take their ball and go home. They wouldn't come back after that. So after that, that was the biggest failure of my life. The next year, I made another feature with my friends. The year after that, I moved back to Austin, Texas, and decided to make a name for myself. And now I'm paying $7,500 or whatever the fuck over in taxes because I'm making too much fucking money. I made last year in December more money than I fucking ever did filmmaking in 2014. More money. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Like, asking my aunt for $7,000, like hat in hand, that was not easy for me, man. Like, I'm Hispanic. I come from a Hispanic household where you just don't do that. You can't do that. And, dude, that was really, really hard. It took her 2 years to pay her back. I paid her $250 a week or a month or whatever it was until I finally paid her back. And I did. I honored that commitment, but I didn't have a movie to show for it. And to this day, when I'm out there David Lugowski mentioned in the group chat that, between the three of us, Cam is the wonderkin, black excellence, like alpha male genius connector. David Lugowski is just firing it on cylinders. He's the photographer, artiste extraordinaire.
You got
Knives
that fucking
Monroe,
right.
Knives Monroe, the guru. I was like, the guru. I don't like that, right? But I do take what I've learned about filmmaking and I try to talk about it on TikTok. And what hurts is when people say, "Hey, do you have a movie? Where can I look at your movies, Mr. Filmmaker Guru guy? Do you have a movie I can watch?" And the fact that I can't tell them that my second feature film is available somewhere on Redbox, available somewhere on Hulu, or even on YouTube, the fact that I can't tell them that, I still wear that failure to this day. And I will say that I took that inertia, that momentum, that energy, and I flipped it into a positive. I think I am far more successful than those two producers slash friends slash actors slash wannabe filmmakers. I think I'm far more
Fuck
successful than
faces.
they are in this game.
Schmucks.
Hacks. I would say I'm far more successful to them than them in this game, and they say the best revenge is living well. So that's my biggest failure in my career thus far, and here I am for the first time ever really talking about it. I'm gonna get shit for this, guys. I'm gonna get shit for this one. I promise.
My biggest failure was one time I didn't put the tripod leg down and the whole thing fell over and it broke my filter on the front of the camera. No, I'm joking, obviously, but like, how do you follow up from that? Oh my god, isn't it the worst feeling where you leave it there and then you turn around to do something and then all of a sudden you just hear the slide of the leg. Next thing you know, you look around and the camera's slow motion.
It's happened to me. It's happened to me on Congress.
I was say I actually have a story like that.
I'm dying to hear it. I'm dying to hear it.
It was a bad day.
Is that your worst failure? The biggest failure of your career?
It's not my biggest failure. But it wasn't even a failure because I got what I needed to get. But it was a bad day. Because I was out working on my senior film for college, which my senior film was a series of time lapses around Philadelphia, New York, and Vermont, and I was just trying to get people to really understand that now sometimes you got to slow down and appreciate the beauty of the world that's around you. Because I was really fascinated and intrigued and inspired by time
Michael Bay.
Actually, it wasn't Michael Bay at this time.
Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu right now, I bet.
So, what I wanted to do this one time is I wanted to capture this waterfall and get a time lapse of it. But I wanted to try. I had this little device that if you turned it a certain way, it slowly tick, so that way my time lapse would actually turn and move and stuff like that, right? So I set this thing up. I was like, all right, cool, bet. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be awesome. Let's go. So I set it up on a tripod. I'm on top of this rock. Water's all around me and whatnot. And I turned my head one way because I'm about to grab something. And when I looked back, my camera has already tipped over and it was halfway in the air. So as I turned the rest of my head, by the time I turned my head to actually see the camera, it's in the water.
No. And this was probably before weather sealing, wasn't it?
Nikon D7000.
Oh.
So yeah, all you'd ever
no bueno.
Hear, all you heard, and the people this was a hiking area too. It wasn't a private waterfall, so there were other people around. But all you would hear if you were in the distance or up the mountain, all you'd hear is no.
I have found that in those moments for me when something goes so colossally wrong like that, I don't vocalize in the way most people would, like no or ho or like wait. I make just the weirdest noises. Like when my camera was in my bedroom, I shot a TikTok. I didn't lock the leg, and it went down. I saw the camera going. I didn't move to go grab it. I didn't go no. I didn't say words. Literally, it was going down. The second I heard the bang, I go ah. just not even anything. I pry off the filter and I'm like, is the lens okay? The lens is okay, but the filter is shot to shit. And I threw it away. I was Are you okay?
That is the worst sound. Just don't ever
Oh,
do that in
dude,
public.
you should hear some of the other things I say. Just like eh. When I I have a lot of sound. I don't say words. I make noises at things that I don't like that are happening. Like, when I heard the whole thing, when I heard a camera actually shatter, it fell over and the lens made contact with the concrete, shattered the whole front element of it. When I was in film school, when I saw that happen, I the same noise. I didn't move to grab it. I didn't go wait. I didn't. So someone get that. And I went as soon as it hit the ground.
That
So,
sucks.
like,
I
funny.
used to. I was taking photos with the Canon 5D Classic, like the Canon 5D Mark One, if you will.
Yeah.
And I had so many actuations on it that I remember I was at this gym taking photos of this, like, fitness influencer or whatever. And
Oh,
I
did
was
the
taking
shutter
photos,
break?
tick, 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 and the mirror broke, and it sounded like Stone Cold Steve Austin's like opening theme song, like. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I opened it, and I pretended like it was nothing. I was like, "Hey, I'll be right back," and I super
Yeah.
glued it back on, and it worked. I mean, it was crazy. I super glued that motherfucker back.
Yeah,
Not exactly the same kind of tripod, front face, not exactly the same thing, but that was really
bro.
bizarre for me.
Bro, can we
Man.
just take a moment?
Yeah, this
Just
man
have
novels.
let's just
like
have a retrospective real quick. We used to shoot with cameras that had these
Yeah.
big hunky mirrors in them that could break
yeah.
at any second, and we were just like, "That's normal. That's fine.
I still do. Yeah, I
That's
still
cool."
do.
But like
Yeah,
Matt,
What?
but
You have an
all those
R5 and you're shooting with a get out.
I also have a T3i. Yeah, 18
Oh my
megapixels,
god, the
baby. It's great.
T3i.
so I got to give respect to Nas for the fact that his literal mirror broke. He's just like, hey, I'll be right back.
I can make this work.
Never let them see
and,
you
and
sweat.
then exactly
Never.
goes behind the scenes and pulls out super glue. Like, I'm gonna fix this shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Fucking
working.
Gorilla Glue's about to make this
I
shit
didn't think it
work
would
again, huh?
I didn't think it would work,
Of
but it
course
worked,
not.
man. I felt really bad touching the mirror. I was like, "Am I even supposed to touch this?" But
You
I
can touch the
love
mirror.
Canon
You can,
5D.
you can touch the mirror. You can't touch the sensor.
Oh my goodness.
I've touched the sensor a few times.
So
Well, I mean, it's okay if you touch the sensor. Like, it's just get the shit cleaned. Like,
it was just my foreskin, just like a little. That was it. As
So,
I
sensitive
wasn't
David-
as it can
expecting
possibly.
that.
David, what is your failure?
It's really funny. The failures that I thought I had at one point, like looking back on them and looking back at, also when I would go to therapy and talk about them, like I, I, I really don't have that many failures. I have had quite a successful life so far. Not gonna lie, like when it comes to photo video, like the biggest failure that I could think of was when I was working with that with that client in Philly. I talked about this last episode or 2 episodes ago,
Make
where
me
I
make
just
me look thinner.
No, not
Not-
her. No. Another one
okay.
who she was a photographer in Philly. Maybe I didn't mention that. I thought I did.
Mm,
Where
mm.
she wanted some reels and TikTok content, and and I just kind of shit the bed on the whole thing because I wasn't really listening to what she was saying. She had this idea, but I was like, no, I got, I'm the professional here, lady. Like you can trust me. But like, I think my biggest failure was in recent memory, at least, was that where I just absolutely, phoned it in, and it ended up actually ruining a quite nice relationship, honestly. But I mean, that's not nearly as dramatic as you two. So, let me think back in the Rolodex of
If you're
Okay.
busting out the Rolodex, you've had a pretty solid career so far.
I
Or
have,
that means that your biggest failure is like waiting for you.
I know that would be the worst if my biggest failure
Embrace
is still waiting
it.
for me.
Embrace it, man.
I
Because
know.
here's the thing: if you accept a big fat dub, and
Yeah.
an L, and you have to choke on it,
Yeah.
and if you take your ball and you go home and you quit,
I
fuck you
think
then,
what I think
right?
think
Or
what
if you
the-
come back and you get back on the horse, you're going to be better for it.
You know what? No. If I think my biggest failure has to be when I first bought this camera. It has to be. I bought this camera in 2018 when it came out. I've had the Canon EOS R since then with 24 to 105. I've used the 24 to 105 exclusively ever since I got it. But I wasn't making any money with it. You know what I mean? I looked at it as an investment. I'm going to invest in making photography again. I'm going to invest in making video. I'm going to do the things that I love doing. And I dropped like at the time when it first came out, it was like $3,500. It was something like that. I can't remember. No, it was $3,500 because I went to New
With the
York and
kit.
I bought it at B&H in New York, so I paid the New
Wow.
York state tax. And I took some photos with it, but I didn't do anything meaningful to get that ROI that many people talk about when it comes to buying a camera. Is I spent when I like I said before we started this, I said my goal is to have the R5 and the 15 to 35 by August, right? Well, at this point, if I do that, I'm gonna get a return on investment because I make money, doing photography, doing filmmaking. Like I make money doing it now. But back then I dropped $3,500 like it was nothing. And like for the most part, 70% of the time, my camera was sitting on my shelf doing nothing. And I think that's not really a failure in photography or videography. I think that is a failure of myself because I didn't understand what I had, I was a very lucky person. I put $35 down, $3,500 down, and I still had money to spend after that. So I was a very lucky person, and I feel like the failure was just a moral failing of mine. I didn't take advantage of what I could have, even though I spent all that money to take advantage of it. Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense, or am I just rambling nonsensically like someone with ADHD?
A bit of both, but you do make sense.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
makes
know.
total sense. It's failure in perspective, right? Like you
Yeah.
took it for granted. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, and that's why I say now, after solid therapy, to be clear to anyone watching or listening, I don't look at a lot of things as failures anymore. I look at them as missed opportunities, or I look at them as times where I couldn't step up to the plate because of, I don't want to say, it's not a failing. I don't know. My words are not, I feel like I'm grasping at words trying to explain
No, it's a.
what I feel
They say
here.
you win some or you learn some, right? And what I mentioned, the movie that I'm
Yes,
gonna
it's
say it.
that.
It's like He Who Shall Not Be Named, but I'm gonna say it. The movie I made in 2014, my second film, it was called The Seven Hands of God, and it's hard for me to even say it. But to this day, now, like with the perspective that I have, it's 8 years removed. 8 years is a long time. Now it's like I
Yeah.
look at it like as a film school, as a lesson. Like most people drop $7,000, that's nothing compared to like college tuition or whatever. Like I look
Yeah.
at that as school, going to the school of hard knocks. Like I don't look at it as a failure, even though it was, and even though it was humiliating and all that. Mental health wise too,
Yeah.
it was not great.
Yeah.
But I do look at it as a lesson, as and I learned from it for sure. And
When
Tim Ferriss calls these dark teachers, and that's one of those for me.
I think I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be a little too philosophical here on this for a photography, filmmaking / videography podcast, but I think that you can only fail if you had the intent to do something in the first place. Does that make sense? You
I can
can't.
get that.
You can't. If I buy this camera, right, just to have the camera, not because I want to go. I don't have a goal set. I want to shoot 100 photos by the end of the month, right? It's not that. It's I have this camera because when I feel like going to go shoot photos, I'll go and shoot photos. I am easy breezy about it, right? There's no failing on that because you never had some kind of intent to do something, opposite of what you're going to end up doing. Does that make sense? That's kind of where I am in life with everything at this point. It's like if I don't intend to do something, I can't fail at it. Now is that my deciding factor in whether or not I do stuff? No, absolutely not. I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to have an intent. But when it doesn't go the way that I want it to, I kind of look at it and go, okay, let me try this again next week. And that's what I just learned. So let's do it. It's like I was doing banger or bummer on TikTok and Reels, right? And it was doing phenomenal on TikTok and Reels. I switched it over to YouTube though because I wanted to make more YouTube content. None of my viewers like it. None of them. Literally, they're almost not watched at all at this point. And when people do watch it, it only has a retention rate of about 25, 30%. So like people aren't even sticking around to the halfway point. They're watching for a little bit and then going away, you know? And you know, I see that not as a failure. I see that as, okay, I'm going to bring it back to TikTok and Instagram then and replace it with something people might want to see, like vlogs. People liked my behind the scenes of my street photography vlog. So I'm going to bring that into the forefront. You know, I feel like the perspective of failure or winning is too binary in something that is very creative and very subjective. Like I said, if this is too philosophical for what we're talking about, let me know. I'll shut the fuck up. But I don't think it is. Thank you. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
I don't. I feel like this is one of those things that many people, when they're first starting out with photo and filmmaking or photo and video or just photo or any one of them, they don't see it like this. And there are a lot of people on the internet that tell you like you gotta fail. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to fail. You have to have the ability to analyze something. Okay, I'll shut the fuck up now.
No, that was very well put. I encourage you to fail. You know, I encourage everyone listening to fail, because that's when you grow. That's when you learn. You know, when you go to the gym and you're doing bicep curls, you don't stop after 6 reps, 3 reps. You stop until you fail, because the last rep that you do right before you can't do it anymore, that's where you're achieving maximum growth. Apply that to your creativity as well. Those are lessons learned, man. So I like how you are able to put that into a proper perspective. I think that's very mature of you, buddy.
Thank you. Aw, I know.
Cam messaged me saying that I'm breathing into the mic, and I replied saying, bro, I'm fat.
Well, what I
no,
do,
thank you for calling that out, because it's like, you know, you're paying attention,
No,
and
but
I
not
want,
even
I do
that.
want to know that. I do want to know that.
think-
You know, if we could reshoot this, my biggest failure was hopping on a podcast with my buddies, right? And in the middle of this beautiful soliloquy that David Lugowski was going on, Cam messages me and says, "Bro, your fat ass is going," and I was like, "I'm sorry."
First off, I have to be that guy.
Oh God.
Actually, it's a monologue. Soliloquies are when it's just the person talking alone with no one around. A monologue is when they're talking at other people. Sorry, not
corrected.
sorry.
I stand
But also,
corrected.
isn't
So
that
when
an
David
X- isn't that
Lugowski
an
was
XLR
doing this
mic?
monologue, no, this is actually check this out. This is just a wireless microphone, buddy. Look at this.
What? I thought it was an XLR.
That's a wireless microphone, man. That's how I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby.
Shit.
That's right.
Oh shit!
I'm full of surprises.
Up.
No, yeah, it was just hilarious. Like he's talking all, and then I'm looking at him like, is that my breathing?
You're like, who the fuck is mouth breathing into the microphone?
Bro, I ate 2 barbecue fucking sandwiches. I'm from Texas. Right before we fucking recorded, I was like, I gotta carb up. And I'm like,
carb up for what? Are you gonna run a marathon while we're talking?
Yo, I was hungry.
Like,
yeah, I was.
Then
hungry.
he responds with like, "Bro, I'm fat." I'm like,
does it sound like I'm breathing into the mic? Because I'm fat too. Does it sound like I'm breathing into the mic?
No.
Actually,
you
no,
carry
because
it well.
I know exactly where to not breathe.
You look
so
like
what I
you're
do
cultivating mass.
I'm cultivating.
I am morbidly obese. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm cultivating. What is this? The 18th century?
You're bulking.
Fat farm?
You're bulking, and then you're gonna get shredded later when you cut.
Coming in April, I have to get back to running and doing all my exercises that I was doing before I came here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you left right before I was going to take you on the Kamerin marathon.
Yeah.
You lucky bastard.
I know. I lucked out so hard with that. Okay, Cam, I will say this, by the way. I was thinking about it today. if your collaboration is me doing a live with you, I will do it once. I will. I will do it one time.
No. That's too easy. I told you.
No,
Let
I'm
me
just
get you to
letting you
do it
know. I'm
live.
just letting you know. If that is what you want to collaborate on, I will do it.
It's
No
not.
other
I
time
like.
though. Fuck lives. I hate
I,
doing lives.
that's cool. As I said, I got you. I'm gonna get you to do one, but I gotta do
So-
it.
Why do
so
you
wait,
hate
so-
doing lives?
Because everyone treats you like their
We go.
personal fucking Google, and I fucking hate it. Like you. Okay, this is gonna sound so horrible, but I don't care because
What
I
camera
stand by
should
it.
I get? That kind of stuff.
Yes. Like, dude,
Yeah.
you are messaging me from a computer that is in your pocket that has access to the thing that answers questions. Ask it. I'm not going to be able to tell you. Do you know why? Because number one, I don't know every camera. And number two, most importantly, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, totally. I get you.
Oh my goodness.
No, sorry. You'll laugh
I
at that later.
stand by it. No,
do
I
any of you
stand
guys-
by it.
Do any of you guys go back and watch these?
Yeah.
I do every time. Every
Oh,
time.
okay.
I
Cool.
love I have some nuggets in here and then I have some dumb shit. I love it though. I love being the dumb one. I do because I get to say the most surprising stuff and the funniest stuff.
You're not the dumb one.
So let me tell you guys about my biggest failure.
I
'Cause-
thought
and
you said
it
it was your
happened-
senior film. No, that
that's
was
not my biggest failure. That was
no,
just
that
a-
was
that
that was yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
let's
that was
go.
your that was the
That was just
tripod
a-
story, yeah.
That was just a
Let's go.
tripod story. That was a sad day. It was
Let me
a
get my
horrible day.
microphone. I'm gonna listen to you. Let me just push my microphone away from my face.
So
At this point, I'm just trying to make Cam laugh. Honestly, you should have saw like his reaction. You'll know the moment when you go back and
I
you watch
didn't-
this. When
I
I
didn't.
messaged him, bro, I'm fat. You'll see him crack up and it'll put it
I
together.
was so focused on what I was saying and not trying to sound like a bumbling fool that I don't even think I realized that he reacted to you breathing into the mic because I'm fairly certain he goes, "What is that?" I'm fairly
Your biggest
certain he does
failure,
that.
Cam. Your biggest failure. Let's hear
Yes,
it.
Cam.
buddy.
What is your biggest failure?
So I was hired to do this job. It was an event, a women's empowerment event, and I was asked to come in and do the videography for it. So throughout the time that we were talking about it, we were making plans and things like that. She was giving me ideas of what she wanted. She was always saying, "I want to take my stuff to the next level. I want to take my stuff to the next level." This, that, and the third. And no, there were a lot of requirements. She wanted us to upload the photos the same day. She wanted a recap video every day of the entire thing. And on the final one, she wanted a full recap. She wanted interviews. Every single class that they had there, she wanted some type of sound bit from it, as well as some video clips from it.
And she was going to pay you a corn chip, wasn't she?
Nope. She's actually going to pay me very well. Very well. She actually agreed to pay me what I wanted. She wanted her keynote, her full keynote. She wanted that recorded, and then everybody else's keynote. She wanted, a little snippets here and there. Okay. My failure on that, for that is when audio got messed up. Somehow my lines or my audio lines got cross contaminated, so I got this whining pitch sound through a lot of the interviews, a lot of So that's one, and then two, I didn't truly understand exactly everything that she wanted. I understood that she wanted everything put up at the end of the day, so we had that, and not only that, even that day, I was training someone that they had brought on to do photography. Luckily, like when we did shoot, she was doing pretty good. So I had told her, like, hey, while we're there, I'm going to let you do the photography. It's just I'm going to still guide you on what to do, where to be, what to shoot. I'm going to be doing the video part, but I'm still going to be around helping you out. But, you're mainly taking care of taking photos because that's all you know how to do. So after the event was done, before she sent me anything, we had a conversation, and she's like, I don't feel comfortable sending you 3,600 because I don't feel like I'm getting what I paid for and whatnot. Like,
Oh man.
huh? So she went around, she's telling me, like, yeah, my entire team wasn't happy with you, wasn't impressed with you, this, that, and the third. I'm like, but everybody that I talked to that entire time I was there was happy to see me. You guys constantly saw me running around. I showed up early for everything, like, blah, 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 yada,
That's
yada,
very
yada,
much
yada.
a
Like,
bitch. I worked, you pay. That's how this works.
so, yeah, so basically, like, as far as where I messed up, I know where I messed up at, and I fully admitted all of that. It's like, yeah, this is where I feel like I might have messed up at, okay, and whatnot. But it's like, where is all this extra stuff coming from that makes no goddamn sense? So that right there, that failure took me, allowed me to actually take the time. Anybody that I work with, I ask double the amount of questions to make sure I understand exactly what the hell they're looking for. And it's also the reason why I'm such an audio stickler right now.
Yeah. Clearly. Oh man. So you didn't get paid anything at all?
Oh no, I got paid. I got paid. I just got paid half of what we originally agreed on.
Damn.
So,
I would have given her half of what she asked for.
mhm. Which that's like is like, you wanted photos uploaded every day. Cool, you got that. You wanted a recap video, you got that. You
Mhm.
got your footage and whatnot. So, and like, instead of just fighting with her, like, you know what, because the audio is messed up, I'm gonna bite this one because audio is such a big thing, especially on this one.
Mhm.
So, like, you know what, just pay my guy, pay me the rest,
I
pay me
used
half.
to
Okay.
the importance of audio. I'm exploring it now more and more. Now that I've like we've talked about on the podcast before, I make my own sounds sometimes because Epidemic Sound might not have what I need. Link in my bio, by the way. Um, I'm so sorry. I needed to get a reaction out of the cam. I thought that was funny. Um, but sound, like I've been exploring using more and more sounds in my videos, and I'm not gonna lie, sound is so fucking important.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand why you bit your tongue on that one. Definitely, yeah, definitely the right
Yeah,
call right there.
yeah. Like, as far as the video and photo services, nah, you got that from me. I did my part on that. But it's
Yeah.
like, since I understood that audio was so fucking important, I'm like, the audio is really, like, some parts of the audio is like her keynote session, perfectly fine. Anything from the keynote is fine. It's the
Now,
little sessions between that weren't fine.
fucked. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we only got like 15 minutes left of recording here before I need to scurry along because I got work in the morning again. But here's my question, and this is part of the topic that you wanted to talk about, Cam. Why did we all pick up cameras? Why was that the outlet we chose? I got my answer.
I got mine. I got mine.
All right.
Okay,
So Cam,
who
you,
wants to
you
go
go
first?
first, man.
I'll go
Cam can go
first.
first.
So, when I was younger, me and my family, one thing we love to do, we go to the movies. We were always going to the movies. When
Yes.
I was in high school, my grandmom, she used to take me to free movies that haven't even came out yet. Like, if you ever have you ever been to a video, like a screening of a
Yes.
preview of it? Yeah. So
Yes.
we were at one of those, and it was always a cool experience for me because, we'd walk into the theater and they'd have these little paper bags. It's like, you got to put your cell phone in here. Me, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, cool, here's my fucking cell phone, whatever. I go in, watch the movie, they give it back, or no, before it was done, they'd ask us questions, and then they send us on our way. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Didn't think about it now. I'm like, oh wait, yo, I saw a lot of movies for free that didn't even come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, now some things make sense and whatnot. So, but we were constantly at the movies. It was always exciting. We'd go to different theaters. We go see movies on Tuesday when it's like $5. We're constantly going, and
Oh,
for me,
$5 movies is amazing. And there's some theaters,
Tuesdays on
some theaters
on
still
AMC.
have it, and it's absolutely great. Because
Yep.
like there's a theater up here in Minnesota where we go to Tuesdays. When we go to movies, like we'll go on a Tuesday because we know it's only gonna be $5 per person. Like it's so
hmm
worth it.
AMC was running it for quite some time too.
and then they just decided not to because they'd make more money. I fucking hate AMC.
Nope, they switched it from $5 to 30% off. So
Oh, I
that's
didn't know that. I haven't.
mhm.
I have not been to an AMC in like 5 years.
It's been like a few years for me, but so yeah, so that right there got me to start wondering, how did you guys do this? And you know what really pushed that forward? It was right before the first Transformers came out.
Of course, there it
And
is.
yep, it was right before it. And we and my dad, we were watching Transformers,
Mhm.
the 90s cartoon version. Okay,
Yeah.
when Optimus Prime dies, and they had this little behind the scenes trailer for the new movie that was coming out, and they were just talking about it. They were talking like how, yeah, the Transformers, they're going to be transforming at 60 miles per hour. These things are humongous. They were just giving me all, and it fascinated me to go to film school.
Yeah.
Film school led me to photography. Photography led me to videography, and I'm where I'm at now. All because
That's dope.
we watched movies so often as a kid.
That's dope.
This man knives.
What do you mean? What would I do? No, that's a beautiful story, man.
Damn.
I kind of like you. We always went to the movies, and it's funny you mentioned $5 movies. And back where I came from, it was $1.50, and you watched it
shit,
at the
lucky.
Ghetto Mall. Yeah, the last movie I saw for $1.50 at the Ghetto Mall was Pacific Rim on 35 millimeter. Mwah, masterpiece.
Pacific
Loved it.
Rim was
Great movie.
Dude,
Great
Pacific
movie.
Rim. Like, Kill Bill
It's
was the movie that did it
underrated.
for me. Oh,
Yeah.
mad underrated. Kill Bill was the movie where I was like, oh shit, I'm a filmmaker. But if it wasn't Kill Bill, it would have been
Pacific
Pacific Rim.
Why is
I
it
fucking love
always-
that movie.
It's always the movies that no one really thinks about, after film school. Because once you go to film school, people are like, oh yes, it was
Citizen
Kane or
Casablanca.
That
what was
fucking
the
how
other
the
one?
world got started,
Nosferatu.
or how the
Right.
USA got fucking started, whatever. The
Right,
fucking
Yeah, like
racist ass
yeah,
movie
it's like
was.
the racist secession movie.
Dude,
Yeah,
the first time I saw Pacific Rim in theater, I was crying like a baby, dude. Like there's a
Right?
moment
It's
where
so
I think
amazing.
her name is Mako, the Asian
Yeah.
lady who syncs up with the
Mako.
dude.
Mako. Yeah.
Yes. And there's I'm getting chill. I might cry right now, bro. The moment where her fucking
Oh, yeah.
town is getting destroyed and she's like a little kid. I'm fucking tearing up right now.
Horrifying. It was.
And then the
so good.
Jaeger comes out and like kills the kaiju, right? And then she's like, oh, like in the rubble. And then it's Idris Elba comes out, man, takes off his helmet, and she in
Right.
that moment she's like, I want to do that, dude. I was crying my eyes out. I was
They're
like,
so.
this is the best
so
movie I've
good.
ever seen, bro.
It was
Ah.
so good. Pacific
Anyways,
Rim is. Anyway, go on. Sorry,
I bring it up
it's
because
yours. Sorry.
No. It's great. I bring it up because that was the last movie I saw at the Ghetto Mall for $1.50, might I add. So, anyways,
Yeah.
and it's funny. They call it the Ghetto Mall. Me and my wife, our car got broken into that day, and that's you get what you pay for. Whatever, it's neither here nor there. But I will say, I was fortunate enough that my aunt, the same aunt that would later lend me a $7,000 cash,
Mm-hmm.
sight unseen, she had a video camera. She was the only sort of wealthy person in my family. She had a video camera. She let me use it. It was great. I would film backyard wrestling videos with it. That's where my name Knives Monroe comes from. Knives Monroe was a pseudonym that I created. It was my backyard wrestling sort of pseudonym. And then I legally changed my name to Knives Monroe in 2014. Not a lot of people know that. It's a fact.
Wait, what was your name before it?
I'm not going to say it right now. I'll say it off mic. I
Okay.
promise.
Okay, cool.
Just because I've already said too much on this pod.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
So, yeah, I mean, I was backyard wrestling, and then I maybe I've had like 3 or 4 concussions from it, but I was the guy that would film on a 3 megapixel camera that I bought with my first job working at Church's Chicken. That was my first camera that I bought, $500 that I saw on QVC. It was 5 megapixels, and those videos are still on YouTube, uploaded in 2006 or whatever, and they look like shit. I can send you one and you'll laugh your ass off. I was 170 pounds. I'm not 260 like I am now. Cam, just kidding. We all can't look like you, Cam. That was my first camera, bro. That was my first camera, and I would edit.
Bro, Cam is
I would
120 pounds soaking wet.
No, No,
wait a
Cam looks
minute.
like
Hold
dude.
on.
Cam looks like 165. You look like 165. You 165?
155.
I was close. I was close.
That was dangerously close. Wow. That
I was close.
55. Okay.
You should be.
Respect.
You should,
I was
you
like,
should be
I
at
was.
the carnival. You should be at the carnival.
Listen. Don't get mad because
You're shredded.
I can still do this. Okay. Don't get
Okay.
mad.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
What's he doing? Flexing his
that.
butt cheeks? Like what?
Like,
Nice.
don't
I
get
like
mad.
Good glutes. You got
I
nice
still
glutes.
work out. All right.
No, yeah, you look good. You look strong. Yeah, I get it. Hey, don't get me wrong.
I work out every day. I work in a lumber yard. I work out
When you're
every
carrying
day.
this fucker all day, yeah, it hurts your back after an 8-hour shoot, man. I know how you feel. That's my workout. So
But
my
anyway,
first
so your
camera was
aunt-
2006.
Yes.
My first camera that I bought for myself, 2006, off of QVC. In case you don't know what that is, it was a
We know
channel
what
on
QVC is, I
television
think.
that would sell stuff. Yeah,
They're
I
still
saw-
around.
my word. It was just the first camera I saw on TV that I bought.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't special. It was a JVC camera that at the time took,
Wow.
no joke, 128 megabyte SD cards. A megabyte. And I would max that fucker out every wrestling match. We must have filmed 50 of them. And that was my first digital camera that I bought. But then my first DSLR was in 2010, and it was the Canon T2i. And I bought it because I really fell in love with video editing. But I'm a filmmaker, baby. Like, I want to be able to, tell a director of photography, like, here's the shot, and they shoot it. But in real life, you have to shoot these things yourself if you want to get stuff done. And that's the impetus on why I bought my first DSLR, was because, yes, I want to be a filmmaker. Yes, I'm screenwriting. Yes, I want to get direct actors. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to film these things myself. And that's why I spent
Just like
$1,500 to buy it. You know what? I'll do it
Damn.
myself.
Exactly. I'll do
Word.
it myself.
Mr. Lugowski, you're up, brother. You can.
Okay,
We'll segue this into wrapping it up.
Okay, so for photography, what got me into photography were two things. Number one, my dad was a photographer. He had a camera, and he was a photographer for 1 year in his entire life. But he had the camera still, and it was I have it in my bedroom. It was a old Fujica film camera, and I always played with it, and I never actually took photos with it because I didn't want film. I didn't want to pay for film, and they didn't want to pay for film, and they didn't even know if it worked. So what I ended up doing was just kind of chilling and thinking about photos and what would be really cool pictures of just walking around like my neighborhood or going to school or something. So I very early on developed that eye, of what looks good, what doesn't look good. And then I saw the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was like, bro, this movie is filled with just gorgeous shots. Everyone I was watching it with when I was in middle school, they were like, oh my God, it's so scary. I'm like, but it looks beautiful. So that was when I was like, I need a camera. I need a fucking camera. My first camera ever, T3i.
Hell yeah.
The one that I was able to use, and I shot photos. I tried to get that, that shallow depth of field like we all want to. I shot short films in high school on it. Like,
hell yeah.
I did a lot with this camera. And
Nice.
the thing that made me, I said short films before, I actually said the thing that made me want to be like a filmmaker. It's not what you think. I'm going to say this movie, and either you're going to get it or you're going to hate that I said it. The movie that made me go, I want to do that. That looks like so much fun. The Goonies.
Okay.
That
doesn't surprise me.
That
Does not surprise me.
It's not a good movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a good movie, but it is just so much fun. Like, it is literally like when I would watch it, I'd be like, huh?
No. Hold on. I think I finally figured it out.
What
Figured
is
what
happening?
Who the hell David looks like?
Oh, what?
Is he
Now
gonna
you
say
said something?
He could pull off Chubbs if you cut off all the hair.
Chunk? Yes, Chunk.
He could
Okay,
pull
so here's
off.
a funny story.
Not Chunk. That's not his name. Chunk isn't Chunk that fucking. Oh wait, Chunk. Yeah. So who was
Chunk's
the
the
fucking?
fat kid.
What's the Chud's
Yeah.
name?
The Chud?
Yeah, what's that? That fucking weird looking sloth. That's what I thought
Leave
you meant, and
sloth
I was like,
alone.
Cam, that's
Dude.
fucking rude.
Dude,
But
dude,
Chunk, yes,
okay, so
yes.
I showed Miranda, my partner. I showed her sister the Goonies for the first time. And watching it again, I was like, they really took this person with a mental disability and locked them in a basement and chained them to the wall. Dude,
Are you talking
what
about
is
Sloth?
Sloth?
Yeah, slow.
He's a
Yeah.
product of
Yeah.
incest, right?
No, he was
I
dropped
don't
a
remember
couple
this
times
movie
as a
that
baby. He was dropped a couple times as a baby. Like
Oh,
he
okay.
literally has brain damage. Like this is a person who needs actual help, and they were like, "We are going to steal chains from the zoo and put him in the
Yup.
basement." Like, what? Why? But anyway,
Yeah.
watching the Goonies and the way that the relationships between those kids, how
Yeah.
they have off the cuff like dialogue with each other. They're constantly like jabbing at each other, that kind of thing, and the action sequences, the set pieces. I was like, dude, this
Yeah.
is a movie. It's not
Not to be a
film. It's a movie.
not to be a grandpa.
Of
Isn't it
course, of
crazy
course.
though that nowadays people who are having this come to Jesus spiritual Transformers Pacific Rim Goonies moment,
Mhm.
now they're having that with Euphoria? Isn't that wild, don't you think?
I think I have problems with Euphoria.
I've never even seen it. Never seen
You
it.
don't have to. It's you're not missing anything. My problem is, and it's a problem I've had with a lot of movies, is they
Make a
take
TikTok about
people-
this, Lugowski. My problem with
I-
Euphoria is, bro, it's gonna get 1 million views.
No, because it's not been said. It's not like it's not been said before. It's been said before plenty of times. It's a criticism of Hollywood and how they portray adolescent sex. Like
Yeah.
these are people who are supposed to be teenagers. Why are we watching a very graphic sex scene? Like shit like that, where it's like, hey, yo, man,
Yeah.
like that ain't it. Like,
Yeah.
nah, we ain't doing that anymore. But like that's my biggest problem with Euphoria. It's just like, hey, we don't need to do that. I understand they're not children, but they're playing children, and that I think makes it weirder.
Yeah, I gotta agree with him on that.
Many filmmakers are having their I've noticed on TikTok, like their
Mhm.
Euphoria is a thing where they're like, I want to do that. That's the thing I want to do.
That's
And
great.
I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking
Yeah.
it because it's like whatever it takes that gets you into film, wonderful. It's
like
just
it's
like that, really. Wow, that's interesting because
well, no,
it is
like-
problematic.
well, it is problematic, but also like let's be real here. It's like when the old hats, criticize the MCU like that's not cinema. No shit,
it's not.
motherfucker. It's
It's
not
not cinema,
supposed
yeah.
to be. It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. We're not diving into the intricacies of the human consciousness. No, it's bro, this thing shoots at that thing, big explosion, we have fun. Like that's
Wait,
fucking-
what was it? What was what the Hawk said? Big monster. No,
big
leave it alone.
monster. Yes,
Big
exactly.
monster.
Literally, that's all it is big monster fight bigger
It was like,
monster.
see,
that's
that
it.
takes me
Yeah.
that takes me back to Godzilla. I think it was the second Godzilla, and
One of the greatest kaiju movies ever made.
Look,
easily.
this Godzilla series, hands down, best one they've ever.
Hands
Which
down.
one?
fucking
This
done.
last one that they've done?
The
These last
newest
three.
ones.
These
You're
last
kidding me,
three.
right? Can
No,
What are
not
you-
a-
Dude,
No, not at all.
what?
I love them. I'm sorry.
What?
Ghidorah
Lies-
fucked his
you-
shit up.
Dude,
Knives.
you liked Gorilla versus Kong?
No, I did not.
I
like that
know
one, actually.
it wasn't Gorilla. It wasn't. Gorilla.
He's talking about King of the Monsters. He's talking about King of the
Yeah, well,
Monsters.
not-
King of the Monsters was so fucking bad. I fell asleep in it, and I never fall asleep in movies.
What?
So
Ever?
I love
We're
King of
gonna
the Monsters
fight.
for it. Let me
I
tell you
didn't
why.
know what
I-
the word mind-numbing meant. I didn't know what the word mind-numbing meant until I saw that fucking movie.
All right, Knives. Let me break it down for you.
Break it
Just-
down.
Just hear me out. Hear me out, because I can
I hear
guarantee
you.
I know why you didn't like it. Because
Okay.
this is what I hated about it. When I wanted to go see that movie, my mindset was I want to see big monster fight big monster. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. This is what I got though.
This motherfucker said he didn't like
This is
King
what
of
I
the
got
Monsters.
though. I got big monster fighting big monster with people in between getting in the fucking way. Okay.
Mhm.
If you take the people in between getting in the
Yep.
way,
Yep.
throw them out to the side, I guarantee you will like the movie.
Oh yeah. we're in agreement.
¿Dónde está mi Dios?
Exactly, because
There's a
all
sequence.
that,
I
all
remember
that,
the moment where I fell asleep. It has to do with Ken Watanabe going down to like the core of the earth or some shit. I fell asleep. I don't fucking know. To resurrect Godzilla?
no, you
listen,
can't disrespect that
all
scene.
right, stop,
You can't
stop,
disrespect that scene.
stop.
You can't
That's
disrespect that
Watanabe-
scene.
Ken
You
Wa-
can't
Wa-
disrespect that
No,
scene.
hold on.
That scene
Ken
was
Watanabe.
You
dumb.
can't
No,
you
hold
can't
on, hold
disrespect
on,
that
hold
scene.
on,
No,
Knives. You have to
That
understand
shit
the
was
importance here.
dumb.
Just listen to what I'm saying.
you
Ken
can't
Watanabe
disrespect that scene.
made an amazing choice in the read through of that scene. When he says goodbye, old friend, it was supposed to be said in English. He said it in Japanese. And like the director was like, keep that. That's fucking amazing. It's a great the movie, like
Yeah, you're
here's the
right.
thing.
It's
That
fucking
scene right
genius
there.
now.
That scene right there is a great scene. The scene that's fucking
Yes.
stupid is when they're on the fucking subway or in the submarine and the mom calls to tell them about their damn plan. Like, fuck you. I want to see Godzilla and Ghidorah fucking fight. Let them fight.
I just looked at my phone. Yes, okay. I just looked at my phone, Knives. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, let them fight. But also,
Yes.
okay, real quick, I wanted to say this when we were talking about the Goonies. So have you ever, when I was going to college, we would go. I would go to a food court, and you would order your food. They'd call out your name. You'd go up, pick it up, right?
I mean, that's
But-
how a food court works.
Yeah. My problem was there were always
You've been
more
there
than
too many times.
There's true, but there was also like too many Davids, so they'd go David, and like three of us would walk up and be like, oh, just all of a sudden it's the fucking Spider-Man meme, just pointing
Damn,
at each other.
that's gotta suck. Because
know.
for me, if I ever so when I went to college, there was like 3 other Camerons, okay, and every time I met another Cameron, it was exciting because like, yo,
Yeah,
there's another one. There's
so
another
many
one.
fucking Davids. But anyway. So in the movie The Goonies, if you haven't seen it, there's a fat kid named Chunk, and he does the truffle shuffle, which is essentially him lifting up his shirt, making funny faces and noises, and shaking his stomach. And it's hilarious, and I love it. And I was Chunk. I did the truffle shuffle a lot. So what I ended up doing at these food courts when I would go frequently, yes, Cam, obviously, you can tell. What I would do is they would say, name, I'd go, truffles, and stare at them. And every time they'd go, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, truffles. Is that your real name? No, my name is David, but there are so many Davids, and there are not many truffles. So, truffles.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, truffles! And you just
That's
pop
beautiful.
out there. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, that's beautiful. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, when I order food, like at Starbucks, I never say Knives because they're like Niles. Did you say Mike? They never fucking hear it, right? So I just say
My name
Muhammad,
is Knives.
and
I'm
they
sorry, but you said Muhammad.
Yeah, they always hear Muhammad. They always hear it. They hear it. They know exactly phonetically how to do that. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. This was the best one yet. Kamerin, where can they find
Definitely.
you on the internet? Lugowski, where can they find you on the internet?
I'll let Cam go first.
Images by Cam, or just look up my name, Kamerin Stroud, spell it with a K.
You can find me here on YouTube at David Lugowski. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at the David Lugowski. I think Knives will put the links below. And yeah, that's about the places I give a shit about finding me on.
Absolutely. And you can find
he
me.
didn't do all 5 of them this time.
Yeah, he didn't do all of them. Link in the bio, guys. You can find me at Knives Monroe and all the things. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if you made it this far. I'd really appreciate that.
And if you go to my YouTube and use the link in my bio, I'm joking. Cut it.
Oh, gosh. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.